This video begins. My last video got copyrighted. The outro song is copyrighted. I knew that, but I used it anyway. But it doesn't really affect me because I don't make money off the videos anyway. I'm not a big enough channel. But it doesn't mean I can't use that outro anymore. I mean, I can. I'm just not going to. So there will be a different outro at the end of this video. But this could be a pretty long video, and just because my last one was long, and I probably should have said that could have been a long video, but I mean, you know what I'm saying, I didn't know it was gonna be half an hour long. So you might want to grab yourself a drink and a snack, because this could be a long video. And let's get to it. Also, it's gonna be the same outro, just with a different song, and there's also a chance that this gets copyrighted, which sucks. I'm just gonna have to keep going until I get a song that doesn't get copyrighted. So the outro might be changing the next few videos, but I can't really do anything about that. I mean, I could dispute it, but I don't own the content, so I would lose the dispute anyway, so there's really no point. Yeah, let's just get to the video.
Decorate your block with red tape, phone them sliding every day. Bunch of hollows spitting out the Glock. I've been serving fiends all day.
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. And today, I'm going to be doing something similar to what my last video was. I'm going to be ranking the top 10 running backs in the league. I have my list right here. I got the stats pulled up like last time. Got my drink and my snack. Once again, this could be a long one. That was probably really loud. So I'm wearing a headset this time because I thought the audio was too quiet last time. Part of that was because I recorded it late at night while my parents and my sister were sleeping. Alright, no, just my parents. My sister wasn't sleeping. But yeah, this audio should be better this time because I'm wearing the headset. If not, I'll re-record this and I'll talk louder. I'm saying this to myself. If I post this, if I've posted this, then that means I'm okay with the audio. But there's one thing I did want to do. I'll be right back. Alright, sorry about that. I had to go grab a few things, but now I am ready to get into this list. So, I'm not going to be doing honorable mentions this time, just because I feel like that wasn't necessary in the last video. However, I will be doing the list, and once again, this will be completely unbiased. There will be no bias in this video. There will not be a single piece of bias in this video. Not one, not a single piece of there's gonna be no bias. I don't know why you think that me, just a humble Chiefs fan, would have any bias in his video. It's just insane that you would think that. I forgot to put the hat on. I'm keeping this take because I don't want to have to change my shirt again. Oh, God. Well, yeah, there will be no bias in this video. I really don't know why you would think there would be bias. Yeah, but no bias. There will not be any bias. And look at that, I put the hat on. Look at me doing what I was supposed to do. Anyway, let's get to the video. Let's get to the video. Alright, so I'm keeping the shirt on. It's the most comfortable one. But I'm going to be looking this way. I'm looking at the stats. So if I'm looking this way ever, I'm looking at the stats. And here's the thing. It's not necessarily I don't know where I'm going with this. Let's just start. Number 10, I have Damian Williams. No bias. None at all. No. These are socks, but like, actually, hang on. They're a little too small, but I'm gonna use some Tyreek Hill socks. Okay. Alright. But anyway. Damian Williams, he... Hold on, I'm gonna take these socks off. Alright. He did good. But... I mean, I just don't know. Like, he did really good in the second half of the season. He just didn't do much in the beginning of the season. Got my drink. Now I have less of my drink. Yeah, in the second half of the season, he played amazing. In the playoffs, also. In the playoffs, he did probably the best. He played some of the best football. Opening icebreakers. He played some of the best football I've seen by a running back in a long time. I'm going to say that about someone else later, too. He just did all around great. In the second half of the season, he just didn't do enough in the beginning of the season to warrant a higher ranking. That's why he's here. So that's all I have to say about Damian Williams. It's been 5 minutes. That means this video is going to be 50 minutes long. I'm going to have to speed this up. Hold on. Speed time. So I was just going to go like really fast. And I realized I can't say all the information I want to say really fast. Number 9 is Leonard Fournette. Alright. He played 15 games last season. He had 265 rushing attempts, 1,100 yards, 4 yards per attempt, three touchdowns. Is that correct? No. Maybe he shouldn't be on this list. I was looking at his total touchdowns. Not last year. I think he was splitting carries though. I don't know. That's weird. Anyway, he sort of had a resurgence last year. Like, he played amazing his rookie year. He didn't play very great the next year. He sort of had a resurgence last year. Like, his yards per carry was the highest it's ever been. His yards per game went up 20. His attempts per game went up a little bit. His targets per game, or his pass targets in general, not targets per game, went up a lot. It was 100. His highest before that was every year at 48. But I mean, it's just weird. Why? 3 touchdowns. That's strange. Yeah, I was looking at the wrong stat for touchdowns, but I mean, he played great last year, other than his touchdowns, I guess. That's weird. And my drink. Yeah, he played great. Other than that, like 1,000 yards rushing is just really good. But like, is it good enough is the question. And I think so. And it's just a question of whether or not I'm looking something up. It's just a question of whether or not he can continue to go back, like continue to go back to what he was doing his rookie year. And honestly, I think he can if he doesn't get hurt. I think he can. So so that's all I have to say about Leonard Fournette. Let's get to the next entrant. Next I have Mark Ingram. The running back for the Baltimore Ravens. I don't know when I said that. You probably know that. Anyway, I'm gonna say it for the last two. Damian Williams running back for the good Kansas City Chiefs, and the Leonard Fournette is running back for the Jaguars. But Mark Ingram is obviously he played great. But his rushing yards are gonna be lower than what they would have been because he has Lamar Jackson as his quarterback. If you watched my last video, you know Lamar Jackson is the best running quarterback, in my opinion, of all time. His only competition is Michael Vick. And I don't like Michael Vick. So I say it's Lamar Jackson. Anyway, he played 15 games last season because he didn't play the last game of the season. 200 rushing attempts, 1,000 rushing yards, 5 yards per attempt, which is really good. 10 touchdowns, once again, Lamar Jackson. He played really good, but like I've been saying for the past all the time, his stats are lower because of Lamar Jackson. And I mean, even that being said, his stats are still really good. Hang on. The hat was too tight. I had to loosen the hat. But yeah, he played great. Lamar Jackson. Let's move on to the next guy. So my next entrant is Aaron Jones. So Aaron Jones is one of what I call the deadly Aarons. Obviously Aaron Rodgers and Aaron Jones. So he had a resurgence. I wouldn't necessarily say resurgence, more of a career year, like a breakout year. Because he's never been as good as he was last year. So it's not necessarily a resurgence, it's just a breakout year. 236 rushing attempts, 1,000 rushing yards, 4.6 yards per attempt, 16 touchdowns. So obviously he played amazing. And if he can continue to go in this upward trajectory he's gained about 300 rushing yards per season. He went from 400 rushing yards, or 450 to 720 to 1,000 this year. So if he can continue to do that, I don't expect him to gain 300 rushing yards this season. That's 1,300 rushing yards. That's amazing. But it's possible. I mean, if he can continue to exceedingly grow, he's gonna go up my list. There's a chance Aaron Jones is number 2 or number 1 one day. Let's get to the next. So my next entrant is Dalvin Cook of the Minnesota Vikings. I didn't say Aaron Jones plays for the Packers. Dalvin Cook of the Minnesota Vikings. he also had a breakout year last year, but his was better than Aaron Jones. Like, he broke out more, and he had a better year than Aaron Jones. So I think, and he didn't play as many games as Aaron Jones. Aaron Jones played 16 games. Dalvin played 14 because he got injured. But yeah, 250 rushing attempts, 1,100 rushing yards, 4.5 yards per attempt, 13 touchdowns. That is really, really good. If he doesn't get injured, then yeah, he's going to stay in the top 10 running backs in the league. Top 5, I think he's in. Yeah, according to my list, he's in top 5. Wait, let me check. Yeah, he's top 5. Yeah, he's really good. I don't know what you want me to say. He played amazing. Like, if you watched any sports analysis, you would have heard about how good Dalvin Cook was playing, because it's all everyone could talk about, and because it was so different to how he'd been playing. And I really like Dalvin Cook. He played for FSU, one of my favorite colleges, and he just had an extreme breakout year last year, and to the point where he can go like Aaron Jones. He can eventually be number 2 or number 1 if he continues to grow at the rate he's growing. That's all I have to say, so let's get on to the next person. So my next entrant is Le'Veon Bell. He didn't play great last year, but everyone knows he can play great. On the Steelers, he was amazing. Of the New York Jets. I don't think I said he's on the New York Jets. But when he was on the Steelers, he was arguably the best running back in the league. Honestly, you couldn't really argue it. He pretty much was the best running back in the league. He didn't play great last year, but if he ever gets back to how he was playing on the Steelers, he's gonna be the best running back in the league, no question. 245 rushing yards, 789 rushing yards, 245 rushing attempts, 3 yards per attempt, 3 touchdowns. Like, he didn't play very good last year, but going through his stats, like, the year before, he held out. He had 1,299 rushing yards, almost 1,300 rushing yards. So if he ever gets back to playing like that, he's going to be the best running back in the league. And that's not disputable, that's just a fact. I don't have much else to say about Le'Veon Bell, which means we're going to the next entrant. My next entrant is Ezekiel Elliott of the Dallas Cowboys. He also is someone who has the potential. A lot of these running backs, they have the potential to be number 1 eventually. Honestly, Ezekiel Elliott was arguably number 1 last year. Maybe, yeah, he arguably was number 1 last year. His rookie year, he was arguably number 1. And he's arguably number 1 this year. His team just didn't play very good. He played 16 games, 300 rushing attempts, 1,300 yards, 4.5 yards per attempt, 12 touchdowns. That's the best we've covered so far, obviously, because he's the highest on my list so far. But he has the potential to be that number 1 or number 2. Probably the number 1, knowing him. It's just he didn't play like it last year. He played amazing last year, but not up to Ezekiel Elliott's standards. So, really, the thing is, he's too good to be playing just great, if you understand what I'm saying. Like, he's too good to only play how good he did last year. And, I mean, which is where you want to be if you have a bad season. And honestly, he didn't have a bad season. He had a great season. But he needs to have an Ezekiel Elliott season. That's why he's down to number 4 on my list. I don't have anything else to say. Next entry. My next entry is Nick Chubb of the Cleveland Browns. Obviously, team wasn't very good last year, but he was amazing. I had him on my fantasy team. Oh God, he was so good. 300 rushing attempts, 1,400 rushing yards, almost 1,500 rushing yards. That's insane. 5 yards per attempt, 8 touchdowns. And this is what matters. 219 fantasy points he scored last year. 219. This man is insane. Has the potential to be number 1. He's just not yet. My hand just was all on the camera when I just fixed it just now. He's just not yet. And he will be number 1. He's going to be the best running back in the league eventually. And I mean, you really just have to look at his stats and watch his games to know why he's this high. Like, this man is insane. Put him in an asylum. He's insane. Like, insane. I don't have anything else to say. He's insane. I guess I could say he's insane. I mean, I don't know. It's absolutely crazy how good this man played last year. My number 2, now this could be controversial. My number 2 is Christian McCaffrey. He is arguably number 1. I just think there is someone better. And you guys probably know who that is, just based on who I haven't talked about yet. I think there's someone better than Christian McCaffrey in the league. I mean, but like, these stats are insane. 287 rushing attempts, 1,300 rushing yards, almost 1,400 rushing yards, almost 5 yards per attempt, 15 touchdowns. I mean, he played great last season. It's just whether or not he's better than the next person I talk about. And in my opinion, he's not. But they could be interchangeable. If someone presents a good enough argument to me, these could be interchangeable. The next 2. I mean, Christian McCaffrey is also, like Nick Chubb, going to be the best running back in the league eventually. Maybe next season, arguably, he already is. So, he's just in my opinion, not as good as my number one entry, Derrick Henry. Didn't do a jump cut that time. He played insanely last year. 15 games. I don't remember why he played 15 games. I don't remember what. But yeah, 300 rushing attempts. You can get this. He played 15 games, meaning he played one less game than everyone else, and he led the league in rushing yards with 1,540 rushing yards, 5.1 yards per attempt, 16 touchdowns. Like, you don't have to be that good. You don't have to be. But he is. He just is that good. And that's how it works. He's that good. He's just that good. And it's literally it's just insane the way he played last year. Oh, that was weird. Excuse me. But yeah, the way he played last year was insane. And if you look at his stats, they're insane. In his rookie year, he only had 500 rushing yards. In his sophomore year, 744 rushing yards. In his next year, breakout year, 1,000 rushing yards. This year, he had 1,500 rushing yards. 1,500. Obviously, he didn't have his 99-yard touchdown this year, but he's amazing. I don't know what you want me to say. He's amazing. Also, this is his first Pro Bowl selection this year, which I don't know why he didn't get Pro Bowl 2018, but yeah, he did. He's just too good for me to not put him anywhere other than number one. His hands, the only problem he has is his hands. And arguably, that's not a problem. They just don't need to throw to him. He had 200 receiving yards last year. They don't need to throw to him. Give him the ball, he'll run everybody in the league over. He's the biggest running back in the league, literally. Not just of like fan base or anything like that. He's 6'3", 250 pounds. He's 6'3", 250 pounds. Most running backs are about 5'10", 200 pounds. He can run everyone over. And he does. That's why he's my number one. Yeah. Tell me if you think there's someone else that should be number one, or if I forgot anyone. He is my number one, and I will not change that unless someone gives me a good enough reason. He will always be my number one for this year. And I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna stop. Let's get to the outro. That's all for this one, guys. I hope to see you all in the next one. Make sure you leave a like. Make sure you drop a comment telling me if you felt about this video. And if you're new here, make sure you subscribe. That's all for now. Peace.
Yeah, I'm gonna make you feel the rush. Feeling like a shoulder brush. All my competition, I'ma crush. Anybody stepping up, I look at you and I tell you best of luck. I'm gonna make you feel the rush.